With the right set of mind, with the right people, and with the right support, great things can happen. Another pleasant Friday morning to my fellow CEOs. My name is Love, the Talent Engagement and Development Program Head of Ripple Kids Educational Services, Inc. And it is another great honor to welcome everyone to CEO Insights Asia Executive Series, The Principles of Scaling. All right. So if you can hear and see me clearly, please send good morning in our Zoom chat box and even in our Facebook Live comment section to those who are watching via Facebook Live. All right. There you have it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. And welcome again to our POS for today. As we all know, Friday is POS Day. As I was able to share with Surfa earlier, no? I mean, our quick rehearsals, kumbaga as we call it, talagang na-embed na in my system that Friday is POS Day. And this is another great opportunity to learn and at the same time to understand why we are also doing this every week. And that's to install DNA principles that scale organizations. Basically, in CEO Insights Asia, we help build institutions for legacy beyond simply making money. And basically, the main takeaway or one thing that we hope that everyone joining our POS is that we will get at least one idea, one insight, one principle that we can immediately apply in our day-to-day operations and our organizations or businesses. And so far ba, since actually today is the last week of August, so basically the last POS day for August, so far, have we applied any principles or idea or concept in our organizations? Please type yes in our chat if you have already applied the principles shared in the previous weeks. As in my case, I was able to apply one principle in my department, in our team. Yes, okay, that's good. Thank you so much. All right. So now, let me also share with everyone, as you can remember, for August, our theme is innovation. And our focus is being a multiplier. So what does being a multiplier mean? It means expanding life-changing impact in an ever-increasing measure. So we serve as the leadership accelerator in our organizations or in our businesses. 3 statements, phrases to explain further what being a multiplier is. That's functioning in systems, scaling in numbers, and moving in teams. So that's being a multiplier. And in the past few weeks as well, here are the topics that we were able to cover in our POS with our faculties. Week 1, it's 3 weeks ago with Surfa. We learned about significance. Week 2 naman with Coach Ron, if you can remember, we learned about sustainability. Week 3, that's just last week with Sir BK, we talked about structure. And this week, the last week of August, we are going to learn or talk about squad. I'll also introduce our faculty later on. Now, I know that you're excited. as we dive into another POS day. But before we talk about or have the faculty discussion, let me first share with everyone a few announcements. Let's start with announcement number one. And this is about, I'm very excited for this. Our first ever CEO Summit happening this October 28 to 29, 2022 at Novotel, Manila. If you're excited to join the CEO Summit, please send CEO Summit in our Zoom chat box or even in our Facebook Live comment section. And also allow me to present to all of you our official list of faculties. Of course, we have our CEO Insights Asia founders, along with Mr. Marvin Galang of One Tax, Miss Catherine Castro of Beppo, Mr. Miss Kim Lato of Kim Store, Miss Celine Yu of Chevrolet Philippines, and Mr. Paco Magsaysay of Carmen's Best Ice Cream. Amazing lineup of faculties and our CEO Summit. So my fellow CEOs, please get your tux and gowns ready because this is open to all CIA members and non-members as well. So if you want to get the executive passes, they're now available. Just simply message Ms. Chris Añanuevo, and details about the registration fee is also available in our CEO Insights Asia official Facebook page. And Sir Jabs as well is sending, or our operator is sending the link to our registration. So please check it out, grab this opportunity, and see you on October 28 to 29 during our CEO Summit. Now let me head on to the second announcement, and this is about our circle meetings. Did you know that right now we have 70 CEO Circle members unlocked with more than 50 companies or brands in CEO Insights Asia. Isn't that amazing? And also, we are having our multiple circle meetings every weekday from our different circle multipliers for men, women, and even for couples. So our operator also will be sending the sign up link for our circle meetings. So please save that link, check it out, and join our circle meetings. Now, to further understand why circle meetings are really important and impactful or beneficial to all of us, let us watch a video testimonial from Ms. Rose Venica Kiray and Ms. Sandy Olivares, the founders of Impact Enterprise Incorporated, and they're also the newly inducted couple circle multipliers of CIA. So ladies and gentlemen, let's watch their video testimonial.
Hi CEOs, I'm Rose. I'm Sandy. And we're the owners of Impact Training Inc. Na-try niyo na ba mag-attend ng training or mag-aral para sa business ninyo? Then after a week, back to pagiging complacent ka na naman, no actions at all, parang paulit-ulit na lang. Madalas sa mga sisimula mag-business tulad namin na no right circle, connections, or mentor, nagiging ko siya para maubos yung time, energy, and money. But when we started to join CEOInsight Asia, sobrang laki na naging tulong sa amin kasi makakasama mo talaga yung mga like-minded people na makaka-relate sa'yo, iba't ibang klase ng CEO. Take note ng mga big companies, local or international pa. Kaya sobrang thankful kami sa circle ng to dahil una sa lahat, libre siya and bihira talaga makahanap ng gantong opportunity. So you can join us at circle meetings every Tuesday at 11 a.m. and Principles of Scaling every Friday at 10 a.m. See you there!
There you have it. Thank you so much, Ms. Rose and Ms. Sandy, for your video testimonial. Keyword from their sharing, execution. In CEO Insights, really, execution is something that we emphasize. And of course, you'll get insights, learning, or knowledge from CEOs, brilliant CEOs leading their own businesses. And it's all for free. So what are you waiting for? Join us in our circle meetings here in CEO Insights Asia. Thank you once again to our what you call this couple multipliers, Miss Rose and Miss Sandy. Now, let me head on to the last announcement before we have our faculty discussion, and that's our CEO Insights Asia certification program. So what is this all about? This is actually a certification for your business coming from CEO Insights Asia that your business is DNA driven. It is available so that you can build more trust with your potential partners or clients so they will feel more comfortable and assured dealing with your company, because we can treat this as like a badge that you're vouched by CEO Insights Asia. And so for more information, or you want to know the requirements for our CIA certification, just check the link sent by our operator. Refer to that, save that link as well, and share it with other CEOs. Okay, so there you have it for our announcements. And now we're about to go to the most exciting part of our POS, and that's our faculty discussion. As shared earlier, this week, week 4, we are going to focus on squad. And to talk more about this, allow me to introduce our faculty. I know that you miss him also. So he is actually one of the founders and the executive advisor of CEO Insights Asia. 4 words to describe him: investor, advisor, husband, and daddy. The man who iconized the black suit and the red tie. My fellow CEOs, that help me welcome Mr. Florentino A. Hernando. Sir Fa, good morning!
Good morning, everyone! Happy Friday sa mga nakamiss sa akin. Sana naman na-miss nyo ako, pero mukhang hindi. Ayaw na akong pabalikin. Sabi niya, December na raw kasi hindi na ako kailangan dito. Ang gagaling ng mga naging faculty natin the past 2 weeks. Thank you so much, Miss Love, for that warm introduction and all the announcements. Ayan, very exciting ang mga nangyayari sa ating ecosystem. Sige. So, formally introducing myself, my name is Florentino A. Hernando. Colleagues call me by my initials, which is FA. I'm one of the founders and the executive advisor of CEO Insights Asia. And our purpose in this ecosystem is infusing ideas that build lasting companies. So, we're all here to learn. Paano ba natin matatransfer ang ating businesses to our children, our children's children, and to the coming generations. So we want to build companies that are multi-generational. Yes, ayan. So bago ako mag-proceed, muna ako, magsa-shout out muna ako. Dilista ko na to dahil ayokong makakalimutan ito. So unang-una, na-invite tayo 2 weeks ago eh. Kaya lang na medyo tumanggi tayo, kaya pasensya na, no? But they invited me to do an opening session for JP, Management Consultancy. Yan, ang CEO ay si Jeff Pantelion. And happy anniversary sa inyo. Ayan, si Jeff ang ating isa sa official executive member natin yan. If you want your companies to be ISO certified, yan ang kakausapin nyo. So si Jeff, happy anniversary sa inyo. 1 year na yung kanilang company. Ayan. So the second is si Sandy and si Rose of Impact Company. Ayan. Thank you for stepping up. They are our new circle multipliers for partners. So medyo marami kasing nasa waitlist, hindi natin sila ma-accommodate dahil hindi pa tayo we're scaling. So we want to grow slow when we can, grow fast when we must. So thank you for Sandy and si Rose for stepping up and being part of the Circle Multiplier team. Ayan, so sa mga partners, sa mga gusto mag-join, sign up na kayo. And last but not the least, ayan, gusto kong pasalamatan si Coach Rod. Coach Rod, di ba? Napaka-intense na session niya. At saka si BK. For 2 weeks, I was out of I was in the ecosystem, but I was out. I wasn't doing POS at mukhang di na ako kailangan bumalik kasi wala na akong trabaho sa dalawang ito. Thank you so much, Coach Ron and BK for the talk, no? 2 weeks yan. Isa pa. Last na to talaga. Happy birthday! Ayan! Happy birthday kay Direk Frank Mercado on Monday, and kay Ma'am Jeline. Birthday niyan ngayon, and we're honored to have her celebrate her birthday dito sa Principles of Scaling. Nandyan yan sa 20,000 na participants natin. Ayan. So bakit ba ako nawala? I'll just share a very quick introduction of what happened. Yes! Nanganak na po ang aking wife. Ayan. And this is baby Ellie. Ayan. Baby Elion Justice. And there, di ba? Yung panganay namin, si Ate Johan, kamukhang-kamukha ng lola. Okay, ng mga lola. Ito, kamukha talaga ng nanay. Thank God, di ba? At hindi nagmana sa atin. So I was out for 2 weeks and my wife gave birth. And the reason why I'm sharing this is connected to our theme. Kasi I see all around us the innovations that we take for granted. Nabigla kasi kami, we weren't supposed to na C-sec si Tidoy, my wife, because na-detect ng ultrasound na hindi na may cord coil si baby Ellie and hindi na siya gumagalaw. So we had to do an emergency C-sec. So the innovations, di ba? Imagine kung walang ultrasound, hindi na-detect. The things that we take for granted, the epidural, so walang kasakit-sakit yung naging pag-deliver ni Tidoy during that time, no? She was ripped open, di ba? And then a human being was brought out from her tummy, but she didn't feel anything. So those are the innovations that we take for granted, which is why it's very important as an organization, we have to constantly innovate. And full disclosure, baby Ellie is he's 11 days old. He's in the hospital right now. So I just came, sabi, iba daw boses ko. Yeah, because medyo alam niyo naman ang mga bagong daddy, laging medyo puyat, di ba? So I came from the hospital. He's experiencing signs of pneumonia. So after I dropped them off, and then I write some papers, I'm here because I committed to principles of scaling. I committed to the 20 million na nanonood sa atin ngayon dito sa Zoom meeting at sa live, Facebook Live. Putang na loob, di ba? Mag-share muna kayo ng Facebook Live bago kayo mag-join sa Zoom meeting natin. Ayan. So there, innovations, we have to constantly innovate. Alright? So far, so good. Ayan, intro pa lang yan. Okay, so agenda sa tayo. Enough about that. After neto, takbo ko ron. But park muna natin yun. Let's do that. Ano bang pag-uusapan natin? We'll do a conversation starter. After that, we'll do a very quick recap. And then we'll talk about the rise of the million producers. Oh, ano ba to? Ang excitement to, excitement. Ayan. We'll define what crowdsource is. And then we'll talk about why it matters, why crowdsourcing matters. We'll do some case studies. Yan, gusto nyo yan. Case study. Matindi tong dalawang company na to. Yeah, marami tayong makukuha rito. And then we'll get practical. So, if ready na kayo, alam nyo naman ang tradition natin. Greet one another good morning and then represent your brand. Diba? So, good morning from. Type nyo dyan sa chat box para naman may engagement tayo. Ayan. Good morning from Escasi. Yan, nandito ang Google Voice natin. Yeah, Ripple Kids. Good morning. Okay. So, Sam Enterprises. Ciao, Oy, this is Jim. Hi, Jim. Welcome, welcome. Ayan. So, yung iba, wala na. Seller Sub, syempre, hindi mawawala yan. Good morning, Chantal. Nandito si Jean. Yan, pinasakit ko ulo niyang kahapon. Alright, so let's do the conversation starter. Nandito ang isa sa board and founder of Escasi, si James Espina. And this is the question to get the ball rolling. Share a practice or habit that you learned from someone that made a big impact in your life. Sige, Sir James, floor's yours.
Hello, sir. Kinig ba? Okay, sir. Ayun, good morning, sir pa. So, yun, ang masishare ko sa parang sa habit na natutunan ko before, ito ay galing sa dati naming company, which is doon sa parang mentor ko na Japanese at saka sa isang Pinoy na R&D manager. So, yun, ang isa doon is yung being proactive. So, yung pagiging proactive doon talaga kami nahasa. So, which is before, hindi ko inasahan na ganun pala yung proactive. So, wala akong alam kundi manisi ng manisi. puro reklamo na lang. Kasi parang ayaw kong tanggapin na itong innovation parang, ba't may ganito, ang daming arte. So, mahilig ako manisi. Lahat ng failure, tinuturo ko yung ibang tao eh. Dahil naman doon kaya nagkakamali yung mga ginagawa ko eh. So as in ganun talaga ako dati. Then yun, suddenly during the conversation with the Japanese, siguro circle of influence na rin, utay-utay na nalalaman ko sa sarili ko na may mali talaga ako, then yung mali na yun tinama ako, then natuto ako dun sa mga nangyari. So dahil dun natuto din ako sa mga analysis na hindi lang pala puro external factor yung kailangan nating sisihin. So, kagaya na lang sa ginagawa natin sa e-commerce. So, example na lang, halimbawa, JNT problem. So, may mga part na kaya naman natin kontrolin. Doon na lang tayo mag-focus. So, hindi natin control yung ginagawa nila. So, mag-focus tayo kung ano yung kontrolado natin. So, yun, para make things happen pa rin. So, part din naman siya ng pagiging proactive. So, sa pamamagitan nun, nag-focus lang kami lagi sa solution sa company namin ngayon. Yun yung in-inject namin, kaya talagang ang laki ng impact niya na focus sa solution.
Grabe, no?
Mahalin namin yung problema kasi kung wala yan, hindi tayo mag-i-innovate eh. So yun yung namin, yun yung ini-inject namin din kasabay yung DNA natin. So yun sir, yun sa akin.
Galing. Parang binasa mo yung deck ko ah. Ayan, sige. Alright, that's really good. I want to comment on that victim mindset. Hate na hate natin yon. Yung victim, yung laging pa-victim, laging iba may kasalanan. We hate that because ultimately at the end of the day, hindi naman natin kontrolado ibang tao eh. Wala naman tayong magagawa dun sa nila. Ang kaya lang nating makontrol is yung sarili natin. That's why people who have victim mindset, they don't progress. Paulit-ulit yung problema. Bakit? Kasi wala naman silang problema eh. Yung problema nasa labas eh. And you cannot solve that kasi hindi mo naman kontrolado yan. So with that kind of mentality, that a lot of people with that mentality, they don't progress in life because it's not their fault. Eh. It's all, may nakausap na naman ako. Ngayon lang, may mga pabiktim. Ayaw natin mga ganon. Hindi na tumatagal yan dito. Anyway, so yeah, thank you so much for that. No, imagine just an impact coming from someone. An idea that coming from outside, imbibed by us, applied, and it's now impacting a lot of people. So yun ang gusto natin pag-usapan ngayon. The idea that is coming from someone else's head. Kasi, okay, here's a principle. Bago tayo mag-start, here's a principle. Alam nyo naman to. If you are the smartest person in the room, finish the sentence, you are in the wrong room. You want to be the dumbest person in the Zoom meeting. Kasi if ikaw ang pinakamatalino, wala tayong matututunan doon. So you always want to be the dumbest person in the room. You have to be okay with that. All right? So, let's move forward. Quick recap muna tayo. Very quickly lang. Significance. Week 1, ito ang pinag-usapan natin. And here's the principle. Your biggest frustrations or your problems, kagaya ng sinabi ni James, are one of your best sources of innovations. We'll touch on this later. So, yan yung pinag-usapan natin noong week 1. And then kay Coach Ron on about sustainability, ito yung sinabi niya, we have to be constantly getting better because our customers are constantly looking for something better. That's true. Diba? If we don't progress, our businesses become irrelevant. So, you're a customer, I'm a customer. Kailan ba tayo na-satisfy? Tama? Diba? So, ganun din. We have to put on, as a business person, we have to put on our customer hat. Ibig sabihin, yung mga customer natin, they are never satisfied because we as customers are never satisfied. Hence, we have to constantly keep getting better, innovating, growing, and so on. So last week naman, kay BK, pinag-usapan natin yung hackathon. And ito yung biggest takeaway ko nun. Good leaders know great answers. Great leaders ask great questions. If you're a leader, your job is not to know all the answers. Your job is to ask all the questions. Before you're a leader, your job is to know all the answers. But when you become a leader, if you want to be great, you have to ask great questions. Yes, please type questions if you are engaged with our session today. Ayan. Maraming doon sa Facebook. Ayan, i-share nyo naman para naman happy tayo. Sasabi nyo, na-miss nyo ako, ba't ang konti nyo? Kayo ha? Kala nyo ha? Anyway, moving on. So, squad na tayo ngayon, right? Let's talk about the rise of million producers. Case study muna tayo. Right? So ano ba itong the rise of the million producers? So back in 2000, a wealthy options trader named Jimmy and Larry, they started an online encyclopedia. It's called Nupedia. Right? So ito, ang goal nila is to create an encyclopedia that was written by experts. They want to recreate the Alexander the Great's library in the known world. Because back then, Alexander the Great had all the information of the known world in that library. Now it's gone. So parang gusto nilang buhayin yun, i-revive yun, now this time online. And all those entries in that encyclopedia will be written by experts. So before an article will be posted on Nupedia, it had to go through extensive scholarly review process. So kailangan matinding proseso ang pagdadaanan bago ito ma-publish. Now, when Nupedia unplugged its servers in 2003, only 24 articles were published. And 74 were in the review process. So 24 lang, 3 years. 3 years because of that extensive process of verification and publication. Inabot ng, nagkaroon lang ng 24 articles, meron pa 74 na nasa review process. The strategy was painstakingly slow. And there were not many articles, but they were professionally written. Yan. So yan yung first part of Jimmy and Larry's venture. The funny thing, however, 1 year later in launching Nupedia, 2001, they launched a feeder system for Nupedia. So ang purpose itong feeder system na to, they're going to allow non-professional scholars, non-scholars, non-experts to write articles for Nupedia scholars to review. So ito yung feeder, ito yung mag-feed ng articles. Yan. What happened, end of 2001, just 1 year, volunteers, not paid staff, volunteers all over the world have submitted more than 20,000 wiki articles. And in December of 2005, contributors from around the world, again, volunteers, have submitted 17 million Wikipedia articles. And according to an independent study, they are as accurate as traditional encyclopedia entries written by recognized scholars. So may accuracy ito, it's run by volunteers, and they were able to accomplish a lot of things in a short amount of time compared to Nupedia. As of January 2022, there are 54,881,228 pages with Wikipedia's accuracy of 80% compared with 95-96% accuracy within the other sources. So this is an 80% accuracy. Again, these are volunteers. 99% of Wikipedia are run by volunteers. Okay? I think the only paid staff is CEO. And doon pa sa ang nagbabayad pa sa kanya yung mother company ng Wikipedia. So they were able to accomplish something all over the world. And take note, this is 2001. Ngayon, it's kind of normal, di ba? Normal na ngayon yung ganitong setup. But remember, 2001, DSL pa ata neto, Wikipedia was ahead of its time in terms of building organizations of the future. They were scattered all over the world. They were run by volunteers, and they're producing 80% accuracy. That's very high compared to the 95-96%. No? Bakit 80%? Kasi nagbabago siya. In comparison to a hardbound encyclopedia, may mga errors yon. But for that to be corrected, kailangan the next publication na. Not unlike Wikipedia. Wikipedia is faster kasi it's real time. So I'm not gonna argue kung sino ang mas accurate or not. That's not my point. My point here is this. In the age of Wikinomics, where tools for production is democratized, never underestimate the power of 1 million amateurs with keys to the factory. This is what you call crowdsourcing. And Wikipedia were the pioneers of crowdsourcing. Yeah. And again, I want to keep emphasizing this. They tap the global brain. Every brain in the game volunteers to create something and run a company fueled by volunteers. This is a company that's built on volunteer blood, and it's scattered. Ba? So let's talk about crowdsourcing. Okay? Ano ba tong crowdsource? Crowdsourcing involves obtaining work, information, or opinions from large group of people who submit data via the internet, social media, and smartphone app. We talked about hackathon last week. Okay? Hackathon is an event. You tap the wisdom of the crowd within your company, and you get ideas, suggestion box, that sort of crowdsourcing. Pero what I'm talking about here in crowdsourcing, it's a mindset. Okay? It's a practice. It's not an event. It's a mindset that you tap the collective brain of the people in your network inside your organization, and even outside. So basically, when we are leaders, we are CEOs, we have to think in crowdsourced terms. Meaning, the way we see everyone, they're not staff, they're not customers, they're not suppliers. We see them as partners in helping us build our company into becoming a great enterprise. Yes, please type yes if you're with me. Medyo intense, di ba? Ayan, na-miss ko kayo eh. 2 weeks, sapakan to. Ayan. Salamat dyan. Ayan, engage na, engage. Okay, sige. Now, let's talk about, again, crowdsourcing is a mindset. It's a practice. We need to start looking at everyone as a resource. So, if we think of them as staff, we'll treat them like staff. Oh, your job is just carry out, execute lang. I'll do the thinking. But when we think in crowdsourced terms, we see them as resource. Right? So fast forward, bakit ba importante ito? Why is crowdsourcing important or why does it matter? I'll give you 3 things. Okay, 3 E's para mas madali nating maintindihan. Crowdsourcing in terms of internally muna tayo. So when you crowdsource, when you start to think in crowdsourcing terms, meaning you have a problem as CEO, and instead of you thinking of solving it, kaya lang yung kasi problema sa mga CEO, gusto natin lagi superstar tayo. And we're breaking that mindset. You know, you already paid for the people in your team as part your staff. You already paid for them to use their hands. Why not tap their brains as well? It comes for free. So when we think in crowdsourced terms, I have a challenge. I can do one. I can do and solve it on my own. Baliwin ko yung sarili ko, kakaisip ng solusyon. Or I can tap my network, the people around me. You know, and when we do that, it engages ownership in the people, dun sa staff natin or sa teammates natin. Bakit? Because people love to succeed. You know, wala pa akong nakilala na nagtap sa akin, Sir Pa, we need you as our executive advisor because we want to strategize in the next 5 years na mabankrupt yung company mo, wala na trabaho lahat. Wala pang ganon. It's always about how do we grow, how do we scale, how do we become successful as a company. So everybody wants to become part of a successful endeavor. And when we give them the pen, again, we're not gonna tell them what to write. We're gonna give them the pen. Parang yung illustration last week ni BK, di ba? We give them the pen and let them write. You know, basta you give the output to me. When they have that sense of that sense of opportunity na okay, dahil ako binigay sa akin to, I want to make this successful because I have skin in the game. Dahil binigay mo sa akin to, I will give my best. Because this is the principle, high involvement, high engagement. High engagement, high execution. People help execute what they help create. Yes, please type execution if you are agreeing with that statement. People help execute what they help create. So if we give them, we crowdsource the problem to them, it creates engagement on their end, it engages ownership, and it helps them act like an owner. If you treat them as staff, we look at them as staff, we treat them as staff. But if we look at them as resources, we treat them as resources, they will act like resources. So that's the first one. That's the first C. It engages ownership. The second, it enables competency development. And this is what I love when we do crowdsourcing or we give the problem or we ask for solutions from other people instead of sosolohin lang natin ang problema. Okay? Why? Because when we talk about problems, ang unang-unang pumapasok sa isip natin is it's something that makes me uncomfortable, it's something that challenges me and so on. But here's the key, though. Problems are really accelerators of growth. And let me share why. Okay? Sabi ni Albert Einstein, you cannot solve a problem at the same level of thinking at which it was created. Meaning, if I have a problem and I tried to solve it and it didn't work, I have to do things differently. It forces me to think differently. So, that means, kasi if inulit ko uli yung solution na yun, hindi nga nag-work, ang tawag niya ron, insanity. Diba? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem at the same level of thinking it was created if it didn't work. It forces me to think differently. It forces me to think at a higher level. Hence, nababatak ngayon yung aking brain power. And that's why I as a person am growing. So problems are really accelerators of growth. If we want to go, most of you are CEOs who are on the part of scaling. Okay? And if you want to go to the next level, hey, you have to grow yourself to the next level. Hindi po pwedeng ganito lang ako, mag-grow ako. It doesn't work that way. Try that. That's the fastest way to lose your mind. Diba? Kasi paulit-ulit na ginagawa natin, ba't di ako nag-grow? Because we have to think differently. And that's what CEOs invite me. That's why they invite me to their team. Ayan, so let me share. Ayan ang mga nakikita niyo naman yung mga post ko, di ba? This was Gene yesterday. Ayan. Because I'm forcing them to think. Okay? You want to grow, I help them by asking the right questions and the strategizing with them. So we have Direct Frank, yan ang mga, at saka si Sacha, ang ating human capital for the MERS, and then si Gene. Ayan, di ba? So that's why CEOs work with me and they get better. You want to feel better, again, don't talk to me. You want to get better, then let's have that conversation. Ayan, init ang tenga niyo sa mga tanong. Ay, dito si Mel. Hello, Mel. Ayan, sige. So, you cannot solve a problem at the level of thinking at which it was created. Now, problems forces us to think on a different level. And that's why, when we have a challenge, instead of sosolohin natin yon, we give it to others. Hey, this is your challenge. And that forces them to grow. Or not, diba? Which shows something, which tells us something na, okay, you're not growing. I cannot have you on my team kasi I need to grow to the next level. And for the organization to grow to the next level, the people inside the organization must grow to the next level, starting with the CEO. Okay, so that's the second one. It actually enables competency development. And last but not the least, it expands impact. When we crowdsource, we tap yun internal to, ito external. When we tap external brains, yan, we have cost savings in terms of capability. Hindi na natin kailangang mag-training para aralin yung mga kailangan nating skill set kasi nandun na yun eh. That's why we're tapping people. For example, me, that's why CEOs invite me because I already have the expertise in building organizations with the experience and expertise and the network. So, hindi na kailangan pagdaanan yung mga pinagdaanan ko, the losses that I incurred. I was talking to one startup this week lang, and they're asking me about investment and all. And sabi ko, I lost millions because of a bad decision. And I'm sharing it to you kasi you don't have to go through that. So, yun yung power of crowdsourcing. When we top others, it saves us time and there's speed. You have access to experts and skill set that you don't have in-house. This is why it's very important that you're part of circles because you can tap the experiences of other CEOs in that circle for free. High blood na naman ako. Jerome Pisoyla. Ayan. I just don't understand this eh. You have access to CEOs and maximize, connect, network, share. So, and sharing, here's the beauty of it. Si Direct Frank nagturo sa akin ito. When you share, when you teach, you learn it twice. Teaching is learning it twice. Kaya andun sa circle na yun, it's intensive yung ating session. Because you get to share and get to learn for 1 hour a week. So yeah, you're given access to skills and resources you do not have internally. Hence, you're able to do and accomplish things you cannot do before. And the third one, the more you accomplish things, here's the beauty of it, the more you create a reputation that people want to work with. When you have a customer, they ask you to do something and you're able to deliver by tapping others, you gain 2 network. You get a customer who's satisfied, mapagkakatiwalaan ka to, he delivers. And then you get an outsourced partner he delivers, diba? You create a reputation that you are someone people want to work with. So that's the beauty of crowdsourcing. You're tapping, you're accessing people around you. You're not limited to your organization. Diba? Hindi mo limit na, ako lang, kami lang to. It doesn't work that way if you want to grow and scale. Yes, please type scale if you are still with me. Yan, sapakan talaga. Wala, base ko kayo eh. Ayan. All caps para intense. Ano scale? Walang scale. Scale. Ayan. Alright. Alright. So, case study tayo. Dalawa. Matindi tong dalawang company na to. Topcoder and Innocentive. So, si Topcoder is founded by Jack Hughes in April of 2001. It's based in Hartford, Connecticut. Si Jack, he dubbed Topcoder as open source meets capitalism. Okay. So, in 2018, it has 1.2 million developers in its community. Again, hindi ito staff, hindi ito paid staff. These are developers in a community. Okay? And they have this they have this community of developers, top notch to. Okay? And a big chunk of a company's business, excuse me, is writing sophisticated software for blue chip companies. Kunyari si Philip Morris, si ING, si ABB, Harvard Medical School, IBM, NASA, and si Eli Lilly. I'll share something about Eli Lilly later. They will tap Topcoder. Okay, we have a software na kailangan namin. It's very difficult, it's very hard. Tap natin si Topcoder. Pakigawa sa amin ito. Okay? So, ganun ang gagawin. Kukunin ni Topcoder. Ang gagawin niya, they will create a computer application for one company. So, sahatiin nila. For example, okay, ito yung program na kailangan nitong client na to. Hatiin natin into 4. Yeah. Tapos, ang gagawin nila, after nun, i-release nila yan. Okay, community, developer. Ito, gawin nyo to. Gawin nyo tong software 1. Ito, software 2, software 3, software 4. Ganun ang ginagawa ni Topcoder. They only have a few staff. Okay, I think 100 lang to. But they have 1.2 million developers. Here's the twist. These programmers collaborate to produce great work. But they do it head-to-head competition. They compete. So this is like, talagang kompleto, trash talk. There's a light of bragging rights, for the nerds, for the geek. So mag-enjoy dito sila, sila Escasi boys natin. Ayan. They compete in a series of online matches as well as live on-site tournaments in which top coders, they battle with specific deadlines to design the most elegant software. So they have a software here. Okay, that developer 1, developer 2, maglabang kayo, pagalingan kayong mag-design ng software na kailangan to on a specific timeline. You have to complete that on a specific timeline. And these are programs, they're competing for money. Tournament talaga. Okay? But that's beyond that, hindi lang yon. The sprawling Topcoder community includes a remarkable number of young programming guns from low-wage countries like China, India, Romania, Poland. They have earned tens of thousands of dollars in some cases. Nasa millions na yung winning nila because of software writing competition. Stig! Please type Astig nga if you are with me. Astig! Yan. So big-name companies including Yahoo, Google, Microsoft, they pay Topcoder to unleash its grassroots army of programmers. Crowdsource, ika-crowdsource nila yon. So ganun kumikita si Topcoder. Ito yung at meron silang profile. So dito, ito si Nightwolf, nandyan to ilang wins na siya, nandyan yung skills niya. So pagka merong software na may competition dyan, mag-a-apply sila ron, nakalagay yan, yung nila, yung profile nila. Ilan na yung wins nila sa tournament, ano yung mga skill set nila, and they're going to know their competitor doon sa software design na yon. They also have the ranking. Ayan, sinasabi ko nga kila Escasi boys, ganito gagawin natin sa circle multiplier. So you can see where you are in the excuse me, in the community. Ayan. So ito si Jack Hughes, ito yung sinabi niya, competition is at the core of this company. Great performers tend to be naturally competitive. They want to know where they stand. They want to know how good they are. They also want to be challenged to improve their skills. Ito yung pinaka gusto kong part dito. If you ask any top person in the field, how do you improve? They say, by working with people who are better than me. You want to get better as CEO? Then work with CEOs who are better than you in a circle. And that's why we're really a fanatic of circles dito. Because you get to learn with one another. Kagaya nga ng sinabi nila Sandy and Rose kanina. You get to learn from other CEOs who's been there, done that. Bakit pa natin pahirapan yung sarili natin? Yun na, pinagdaanan na nga ng iba Aalamin na lang natin, di ba? So we can skip that part. But anyway, may mga matigas talaga ang ulo. Anyway, so yeah. So punta naman tayo. This is Topcoder. Let's go to Innocentive. Innocentive was now founded by Alf Bingham and Aaron Schatz in 1998 while they were working at Eli Lilly. So since 2001, Innocentive has helped global businesses, public sectors, charities harness the power of the crowd. So they have 500,000 over 500,000 solvers tackling problems from facilitating access to clean water to passive solar devices, and it has become a market-leading open innovation organization. So in their website, they have over 80% success rate, over 60,000 solutions captured, and over a million, a million awards have been given. Okay, the model is simple. Ito yung simple niya. How does Innocentive run? It signed up a lot of scientists in their organizations from, they signed up clients. Yan, so largest company, Lilly, P&G, Boeing, DuPont, Nestle Purina. They are what you call the seekers. They're looking for solution in their problem. Okay, and then, meron naman tinatawag na solvers. Ito mga solvers na to, they have 90,000 biologists, chemists, mga talagang scientists talaga to. Highly skilled professionals in more than 175 countries in all walks of life. So ang gagawin ni Innocentive, si company, for example, P&G, I have a ultra technical scientist problem. Okay, kahit marami na silang scientists, ang magagaling ng mga yan, they pose a challenge, a problem. They are called as a company seeking solution. And you have a community of solvers. Okay? So they will pose super technical challenges. The solvers, they will look for that. Think Job Street. Think Job Street, but in this one, it's problem solving. So they will pose a challenge. They will pose a deadline. They will pose an award. And then the solvers will pick kung ano yung mga gusto nilang isolve. And solvers never know the identity of the company. And they compete to meet the challenge in a way that seeker company deems a success. At which point, pag nakita ni solver, kung may sasabihin ni seeker, sino ang pinakamagandang solution na binigay sa atin, siya yung mananalo. Okay? So a lot of solvers will try to solve that problem and the only one will win and they get paid. So matching ang nangyayari. Ayan. So ito yung mga profile ng mga solvers. So si Ted Ground, he already have a number of challenges awarded, 20. He's from the US. Ito naman si Michael Kardaskas from the US, also 21. Ito pinakamatindi. Ayan, si Yuri Bodrov with 50 plus 58, 56, 58 challenges have been awarded sa kanya. So people see, pagka kunyari, si seeker company, tinitingnan niya, sino yung mga nagsosolve ng nag-submit ng solutions. They get to see the profile. Ayan. So, yeah, yan ang power of crowdsourcing. Yes? Are you still with me? Please type yes if you are still engaged with our session. Ayan. Okay. Si Teacher Virish. Ayan. Yes. Okay. So key lessons. Here are the key lessons. The job of the CEO is more of a facilitator of execution than the actual executioner. Okay. So this is the key lessons that we can get from the case study. Okay. So a leader's job or a leader is not someone who can do the work of 10 men, but someone who organizes 10 men to do the work. Hindi tayo Superman as CEO, as leader. We're not able to do the work of 10 men. We are able to organize 10 men to do the work. As a CEO, it's not our job to sell 1,000 products, but organize 1,000 sales associates to sell 1 million products. Yes, as HR, our job is not to do the 5 functions of HR, hiring, training, promoting, paying, and firing. It's not our job, but our job is to organize 5 HR associates to execute the 5 functions of HR. A circle multiplier, it's not our job to facilitate 10 circles, 1 circle with 10 CEOs, but to organize 10 CEOs to facilitate 10 circles. Yes, please type yes, I, if you are engaged pa rin. Diba? Ayan, I still have time. Extend ako konti. Nabis ko kayo eh. Bigay nyo na sa akin to. Alright, so the second one, the more brain in the game, the easier the problems become. Hindi natin kailangan solohin lahat as CEO. We can tap every brain in the game in our organization and kung sa outside pa. Okay? So the third one, leadership is a platform. For others, leadership is a position. They brag about, I'm CEO, I'm founder. They use it as a badge. No, If you want to be an effective CEO that can scale a company, you are a platform, meaning you are the one who is organizing the solution, the solvers of the problem in your organization. You're not the one who is solving every challenge, but you're organizing the people inside your organization and tapping outside to solve the problems that we have. Yes, please type yes, Ayan. So, getting practical na tayo. Ayan. Okay, let's get practical. How do we do this? So, 3 M's. Okay, the first one is a mind shift. Let's have that change in mindset. We don't see people in our team as staff who just carry out our orders, order taker. No, we see them as resources. And not just our staff, not just our teammates, our customers as well, our suppliers as well. I mean, kahit sino makita mo, they are an expert at some point. Hindi naman tayo expert sa lahat eh. Diba? I top people when it comes to Facebook ads. Nandyan sila RD, nandyan sila BK, because I'm no expert. They're better than me when it comes to that. And I'm okay with that. Diba? So that's one. And when it comes to finances, nandyan si Ma'am Chill. Diba? Ang ano natin, ang dugo ng e-com. Ayan, si Chill. If you have any issue with I know a bit of finances, but yan ang expert. Diba? Si Princess ng Seller Sub. Yan. Daming ginagalaw na inventory na. Matindi yan si Ses. Diba? Mga naiwan na inventory, tinunaw. Anyway, so yeah. So everyone you look at is an expert or a superior to you at some point, at any aspect in life. So our job is to find that. Yes? So there's a mind shift. Ito kasi yung dilemma, the duality of leadership. Eh. On the one hand, it's always our fault because we're the leader. It's always our fault. No? So we don't point others, blame others. But on the other hand, we know we can do it all. We have to empower them. So that's the duality of leadership. And our job is to be able to execute despite this duality. Sabi nga ni Scott Fitzgerald, the highest form of intelligence is having two opposing ideas and still have the ability to function. You hold two different ideas, opposing ideas, but you have still the ability to function. So that's the highest rate of intelligence. Okay, so to have that mind shift, okay, now we see them, everyone else, as a resource that can help me build and grow my company. Okay, so that's the first. And the second is mold the DNA. Dito papasok ang DNA. I think I still have time. DNA is very critical because you're going to be working with people who are not under your command. So you have to be able to share the same DNA para mabilis ang execution natin. So our job is to ensure that the DNA that you're working with people, you're sharing the same DNA when you're working with other people. Kaya sa CEOInsight Asia, we're very intentional in the DNA. Kasi you're all CEOs. But why are we growing so fast? It's because the people inside get attracted because they share the same DNA and we strengthen it on a regular basis every 7 days. You get principles of scaling. And then after 3 days, you have circles. After that, you have insights. And then principles of scaling again. So we're very intentional in molding the DNA here in our ecosystem because we cannot command you. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to force ourselves into how you do stuff. But if you're going to be part of this ecosystem, there are certain standards you have to adhere to. Ang hate na hate natin dito is yung entitlement. Ayaw na ayaw natin yan. How does entitlement show? Pagka dumarating sa circle meeting ng late. Yan. Ay, kasi busy ako. Pare, lahat tayo busy. Okay? So wala na masyadong ganun but then I know, I can see every one of you. I've spoken with your circle multipliers. So for those who are still doing that, this serves as a general warning. Honor your circle multipliers. They took up time away from their busy schedule. So honor them by being 5 minutes in the room. Yes? Please type yes, hindi na ako magsasermon, wala na akong oras. Ayan. If you are still with me, ayan. Yung mga off-cam ha. Let's respect one another. Diba? So, honor one another. Okay, last, manage the process. So, manage the process is what BK taught us last week. Post the problem, propose solutions from others, and then pilot the recommendation. Okay? So, in closing, closing na tayo. I still have 3 minutes. In closing, we're closing the series on innovation. Okay, so week 1, we talk about being a multiplier, expanding life-changing impact in an ever-increasing measure. We talk about functioning in systems. We're very methodical here. Diba? We scale in numbers. And last but not the least, we move in teams. So our job as CEOs is not to carry all the burden, but to help people, surround ourselves with people who will help us build something great. When I'm inviting people to join my team, I say, I'm not looking for people to hire. I'm looking for people, or I'm inviting people to help me build something great. At ganun din dito sa CEOInsight Asia. We're inviting you to help us build this ecosystem into something great. And when I say CEOInsight Asia, we are the we are example of crowdsource. As you can see, ito, yan. Yung content ng CEOInsight Asia, itong principles of scaling, it's outsourced. Yan, crowdsource yan. So we have RD, si Direk, si Jill, andyan din si Mel, Tuesday, si Ma'am Chris. Umagang-umaga, sapakan ka. Diba? I asked them to build the content for next year. So I'm not doing all the thinking here. Right? So we honor them. Yan. So ito rin, multiplier mastermind. These are a few of the circle multipliers who help one another become better as circle multipliers. We have CEO Summit. Yan. Diba? Na mga nangyayari. Tapos ito pa, CIA review. Excuse me, by Mel Medrano of Gramworth. So the content of this is, again, crowdsourced. All the CEOs are contributing here. And because we believe that we want every brain in the game. Because none of us is as smart as all of us. So closing quote ko to, and then I'll give the floor back to Love Ravina. Closing ko is, I honor, si Meds to Go, si Noel, our latest circle multiplier, at si Rose at si Sandy, sa mga partners who stepped up. Yan. And this is my closing quote. It's not about how much you know or who you know, but how much intelligence you access. Yes, please type yes, if you enjoyed this day's episode of Principles of Scaling. Yes, thank you so much. So Love, floor's yours.
Thank you so much, Sir Fa. And yes, grabe, another session na naman. Na grabe ang mga insights na makukuha. And I'm sure next week and the circle meetings, our CEOs will be sharing a lot of insights also. Now, before we end our session po, thank you again, Sir Fa. Let's hear an insight from our contributor for today. So we have actually, and by the way, she will be the next host next month for our POS. To help you welcome Teacher Verish. Hello, Teacher Verish.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Grabe naman, kinabahan ako doon. And Sir Fa, nasa fuck ako na naman today dun sa nasa fuck ako. So anyway, insight for today, no. Ang pinaka naging impactful sa akin is yung sinabi ni Sir Fa na problems are accelerators of growth. So most of us, okay, we are all CEOs here. We are so good at identifying problems. Yes, we are good at that na, no? We are so good at identifying problems, but we stop there. We stop finding solutions. We are afraid to find solutions because we are afraid to ask questions. And that's where our crowdsourcing comes in, diba? Kasi we are afraid to ask questions. We feel like we are already a CEO. We should know it all. But sabi nga ni Sir Fa, kailangan mind shift. Mind shift. And what I realized today is that crowdsourcing is really a vital part of the solution, right? And that's the reason why I'm here today. I've been crowdsourcing for almost 4 months. And because of crowdsourcing, now I am here today at CEOInsight Asia. So thank you so much, Sir Fa. Thank you for letting me speak. Kahit kinakabahan ako. Miss Love, thank you so much. And that's my insight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Teacher Verish. And with your insight po, nakasafa ka din ng mga nakikinig. All right. Thank you so much. And basically, that's it for our Principles of Scaling today. We are ending our series for the month of August. And please be ready to welcome another series next month with again Teacher Virish as your host. If you also want to be the host of our Principles of Scaling, an operator, feel free to message your circle multiplier. So this is it. My name again is Love. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you again next POS Day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye!